Welcome everybody to the ePermits info webinar. In this webinar, we're going to be looking at the ePermits PPE module and how this can be used to enhance your existing ePermit system. The ePermits PPE module enables you to record the PPE that's required on the permit. Now, of course, PPE is specified on RAMS documents already, but having the module enables contractors to specify the PPE they'll be bringing on that permit job, and the client company can also specify the minimum PPE that they may require. For example, site access, irrespective of what you're coming to do, may require hard hat, safety boots, and a high-vis jacket. So that sort of thing can be specified. Each high-risk activity, as well as the site access, can have its own list of PPE, so that enables people to select things from predefined lists, and these then appear on the permit document, enabling easy kit checks, as it were, on arrival. And you can see at the bottom here, there is an example of multiple activities, so site access, asbestos or lone working or welding and brazing, working above, and each of these have their own PPE lists. And if you wanted to add to it, you can simply select the item that you acquire from that list. So the system actually enables you to have further checks in place when contractors turn up, literally on the permit document itself, rather than having to refer to another document, the RAMS, that may not be as accessible as the actual permit document itself. So the PPE module is just one of a number of different modules within the ePermit system. There are 4 core modules: the permit workflow module, RAMS compliance, contractor compliance, and worker compliance. And then there are a number of additional modules, and you can see here the PPE module, and you can see here a video induction and test module, electronic signatures, and automated permit splitting, among others. The subject of this webinar is the PPE module, and I'll now just take you very quickly through a simple demonstration of the ePermit system, bringing in that bringing in that PPE module. So as a contractor, I'm logging into the system. I'm going to create a simple request, and that request will require me to do specific pieces of work on site. So I have a works order number. I'm going to select my competent person. I'm sending someone else on the team. I can add in things such as car registration numbers, and obviously I specify the date that I'm going to do the work and the time. And let's say we finish on the same day and finish in the afternoon. This is now where we're going to select the type of work to be doing. So I'm going to be doing some repair work. I'm working on a particular piece of kit, the boiler. As you know and love, the system populates the information for you as to where this boiler is. I'm going to be welding a plate. I'd obviously do a bit more information than that, but just for this purpose, that's adequate. Why is the work being done? It's a building services fault. And then let's say I know I'm going to be doing welding and brazing, but I'm doing it in a confined space. I'm working at height and so forth. So if I go to the next steps, this now gives me the information about the permit that you know. I can still review the RAMS here. This is now where the PPE module comes into play. I can specify the PPE I'm going to bring, or the host company may have already specified standard PPE that has to be used. For example, as we said in site access, it might be high-vis jacket, safety boots, and a helmet, for example. If I'm not disturbing asbestos in the building, so I don't need to take any precautions there. For my welding and brazing, I'm going to be bringing my visors, I'm going to be bringing my gauntlets, and I may need, for example, a harness to be working above height. So that's specifying the PPE. So I submit that permit request. I've now got the various permits that I'm going to run. I can specify the time and date of the hotworks permit. And I can now submit that permit request. And my job as the contractor has now been done. So if I now log in as an approver, so I'm logging in as this chap called Howard, and I've got some permits requests that are awaiting my approval. Here are the permit requests that have just come through for access, confined space work, work at height, and so forth. I can go through my approval process. So here I can see information about the permit. I can bring in isolations, as you know, and here is the PPE that has been specified as bringing in. Now I can look at that and say, actually, very pertinent with this particular situation at the moment with the COVID-19, I want to insist that everybody's going to be provided with face masks. Now, whether the contractor has to provide those themselves or you provide them for the contractor, that again is entirely up to you, but you've now added to that PPE requirement for that particular contractor. So if you're happy with the, you can approve that permit. Same thing will happen to the confined space permit. I can approve that. Same for work at height. And as users of the system, you know well that, of course, it could be different people involved in signing these things off at any particular time. So just for demonstration purposes, I've been able to approve all of those. So those permits have now been approved. They're now in the approved list. So if we now fast forward to the 31st of March, the contractor turns up on site, and we are now in a position where we can go through our standard checks. First of all, is the team that's specified on the permit? If it's not, as you know, you can go in and change the team. It'll rerun all competency checks. I can view the RAMs for the job at this particular stage, but here I can now go, okay guys, let's have a kit check. I want to see all the pieces of kit that you brought with you that's specified on the permit. If you have them, then we're in a position where we could then generate that permit, and we now are in a process of allowing the work to take place. Two ways to generate the permit. I can do electronic signatures, which is a subject of another webinar that you can see again at our website. If I generate the permit for this job, what will come up is a PDF document. And for those people that don't have the electronic signatures module at the moment, you'll recognize this as being the permit templates. There we are, there's the permit template. And this is where you would now print it off, and you can now wet sign this through the process. And there's the PPE specified on the permit as per the PPE module. So that effectively has shown you the PPE module for e-permits. If it's something you want to try, please go to the website. There is an opportunity for you to order a sample copy of the PPE module. We can enable that for you for a short period of time, and if you then decide you want to keep it, by all means, you just raise the PO for the system. PPE module is priced at 10% of whatever your building license fees are. That doesn't include the hosting support. It's just 10% of your building license fees, and that then is applicable across your whole portfolio. So thank you very much indeed. I hope you found that useful. And look forward to hearing from you fairly soon. Thank you.